Most people hate their jobs. We go to school for a minimum of 12 years and then start working. Some of us land internships or are in a field that we have a sliver of interest in or something that our parents pushed us in. But most of us take the first thing that we're offered. We're cooks, warehouse stockers, retail workers, and customer support reps. Most people don't start their career at a cool tech startup coding or in finance earning six figures right out of college. My parents wouldn't co-sign for a loan for college for me, so I ended up working at GameStop. I had already been working as a lifeguard, and I had to add a second job so I could move out of my parents' house at 18. I would wake up at 4 a.m. to work the opening shifts at the swimming pool, then go to GameStop at about 1 p.m. and work until 9:30. These are what we call entry-level jobs. We all need to do them to gain some experience to move up. But sooner or later, you're going to be 27 years old or even 35 and working at some random company selling blinds to small businesses. This is where a large percentage of people end up, a bullshit job where meaningless work is done. One where if you drop dead from a heart attack, they probably wouldn't even replace you and just shift your workload to your coworker who already has a packed schedule. Your job is probably meaningless, and if you disappear tomorrow, the world would just keep moving along as if it never had existed. But that doesn't mean your life is bullshit. You are here and exist for a brief moment in time. It is so hard today to separate your work from your identity. And the sooner you can do this, the better off you'll be. There's actually a theory about this. An anthropologist named David Graeber wrote about this back in 2013. The idea is pretty straightforward. A huge number of jobs exist that even the people doing them know they don't need to exist. Not hard jobs, not unpleasant jobs. These are jobs that, if they disappear tomorrow, nothing would change. Maybe things would even be a little bit better. He called them bullshit jobs, and he broke them down into two types. You've got people hired just to make their bosses look important. You've got managers managing people who don't need to be managed. And you've got entire roles built around patching problems that could just be fixed properly if anybody actually cared. And then there's my personal favorite, the box ticker. Someone whose whole job is so the company can say that they're doing something when they're actually not doing this. I once spent 3 whole days preparing reports for a meeting that my company had. 3 days. And I had everything organized. The meeting started, and the guy running it, when it got to my part, he skipped right past it. And we just spent the rest of the time planning the end of the year holiday party. Now that is a bullshit job. Nobody really needed to see that presentation that I was making or the reports that I was building, but I had to do it anyways. Now look, not every job is like this. There are jobs that genuinely matter. Teachers, nurses, doctors. My dad, he's a garbage man. I asked him once what keeps him going, waking up at 2 a.m. every day just to haul trash. He said, it's for you and for his family. And he also said if he didn't do it, somebody else would have to. Now that's a real job, because if we didn't have somebody hauling away our trash, the world would be a much dirtier place. But a lot of jobs don't really matter. And if yours is one of them, that's not a personal failure. That's kind of just the way that the system is built. From the time that you're a kid, people tell you to find your passion, do what you love, and you will never work a day in your life. And if you found that, that's great. But for most people, that's just not how it goes. And I'd push back a little on the people who loudly claim they've cracked it. The ones constantly telling you that they're changing the world or doing important things. They're usually just trying to convince themselves. It's a projection more than passion. When you can't find that thing, or when your job just pays the bills, you start to feel like you failed somehow. Like everyone else has figured it out, but you haven't. You're just being honest about the reality. Go on LinkedIn for just 5 minutes. Everyone is a thought leader. Everyone is so passionate about disruption or innovation or whatever the word is this year. It's kind of a performance. People trying to feel like their work means something because deep down, they're not sure if it does. And that's what happens when it gets taken away. During COVID, I took a 20% pay cut. My actual skills didn't change. My experience didn't change. Nothing about me changed. My job didn't change. But all of a sudden, on paper, I was worth less. And that does mess with your head if your whole identity is wrapped up in that job that you have. Your title is not who you are. It's just what you do to pay for the life that you actually want to be living. Think about what actually fills your life when nobody tells you what to do. I play video games, I write, I watch movies. I got to play paintball in multiple countries alongside some of the best paintball players in the sport's history. Now, that doesn't matter to 99.99999% of people, but it matters to me. I'm studying Thai 3 times a week with a tutor, and I sound like a 4-year-old when I speak it. But I can have a conversation in a second language, and that's not nothing. None of that has anything to do with my job title, but it's real in a way that most of your work history isn't. You don't need to travel or pick up something that looks impressive. Just find something outside of your work that's yours. Something you do because you're curious about it. You don't have to monetize it or even be good at it. That is where your life is, not in the job that you do. You probably still need a job. That is just a reality. I need a job. Bills exist and we have to pay them. The trick is stopping yourself from giving it more than it deserves. I think about work as an agreement, not about the salary, but about what you're actually getting out of it. Are you learning something new? Are you moving somewhere? Are you improving in some way? Or does it give the flexibility to do what you want? If not, are you at least able to get through the task fast enough so that it gives you breathing room to work on something that actually matters to you? If the answer to all of that is no, then just start looking. The job market is tough right now, and it might take months or even a year. But if you're determined and you can hold on long enough, get out. There's also a difference between quiet quitting and just having boundaries. Quiet quitting is doing the bare minimum and collecting a paycheck. Boundaries are not checking your email at 9 p.m., not letting your job bleed into the parts of your life that is actually yours. And whatever is left after the bills are paid and you put something towards retirement, that's yours. That's what you use to live the life. You don't have to spend it on anything impressive, a nice car or a new watch. Just spend it on something that makes your life feel like something. Your job might be bullshit, and that's okay to say out loud. Nobody who actually matters in your life cares what your title is. My parents couldn't even explain what I do for work. They care about you, and you spend 40 hours a week at that job. There's about 128 hours left. That is where your life is. Protect those hours. And that's it. I'm curious what that looks like for you. How do you separate work from who you actually are? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.